Hi, it's Julie again with JulieWilkinsYoga.com, and this is part 3 of some exercises that you can do. This is specifically for those with spinal fusions for scoliosis. Part 1, and I would encourage you to do the video part 1 first, which is working on back bends and spinal extension with cobra pose particularly, and puppy pose to get the spine nice and decompressed. And then part 2 was lying on your back and doing bridge pose and supported bridge pose, and then strap exercises to really open up the back of the legs and the hamstrings. So in part 3, what we're going to learn is safe versions of forward bends, which you can do. This is a hinging at the hips or hinging at the pelvic area, forward bends, using your unfused lower vertebrae if you have them. And if you are fused that low, you'll probably find that you still have the ability to bend forward because of the mobility in your hips. So after we do forward bends, we're going to learn a couple of standing poses as well for you to continue with your own home yoga practice in order for you to get to a place where you feel comfortable enough to begin to put the poses together in a flow. And that may be in the future, in the near future, or even farther in the future for some of you. Moving at your own pace, accepting where your body is now is very, very important in this practice. So let's start in a standing forward bend. Come to your mat. So come to your mat and stand with your feet 2 fist widths apart and parallel. So when you look down at your second toes, they should be parallel. So take a moment to stand tall and proud. Take a deep breath into your body. Feel your belly draw in to support your spine, kind of muscles hugging on the back, kind of supporting your back. Stand nice and tall, and then with your inhale, take a big stretch up of your arms. Big stretch of your body, big stretch of your breath here, and then bend your knees slightly and hinge forward at your hips. Let your thighs move back and start, depending on your level of flexibility, you may just want to hold just your shins just underneath your knees. With straight arms, extend your spine forward and push your thigh bones back so you start to feel an opening in your hamstrings. Hold here for several breaths. If your flexibility, or if you have more flexibility, a little bit more mobility, you might be able to take your fingertips to the ground or work towards that. Remember, I'm fused from T3 to L3, so the hinge you're seeing here is primarily in my hips, but a little bit in my lower back. I'm going to come all the way into my version of a forward bend with fingertips on the floor. I'll tuck my chin under, bend my knees softly, make my legs strong and firm, and move my thighs back as I fold in and take several breaths here, just breathing deep into the body, inhale and exhale, moving around a little bit to come into a place of comfort. And I'll stay here until I'm ready to unhinge. Take my hands to my hips, lift my chin, and inhale as I rise to stand. And pause for a moment to catch my breath. Then I'll turn to take a wide standing forward bend. So I'm going to take my feet very wide apart on my mat, turn my toes in and my heels out, hands to my hips, inhale, take a big breath and extend long through the spine. As I exhale, I'm going to hinge forward at the hips, just like I did previously. Take my fingertips down and fold into my degree. Now here, if I lift my shoulders away from my ears, I'll feel a lengthening in the back of my neck. So I'm going to lift my shoulders onto my back and extend the crown of the head down. I'll breathe here and then come up halfway for a moment, let my head adjust, and then hands to hips. Rise to stand as I push my feet down and come back to center. So I'd like to demonstrate a couple of standing poses for you to work on next. We'll go back to that standing wide stance that you just just took. This time we'll turn our right foot out. So right foot is turned out, left toes are in, arms out to the side. Inhale, stand tall for warrior two as we bend our right knee to our degree here. Okay, beginners may find that you just bend your knee slightly. As you get deeper into your practice, you want to work towards a 90-degree angle in the front leg. No need to push it. There's plenty of time to work towards that. I'm going to keep my back leg really strong. I'm going to tuck my right seat under and soften into the pose as I breathe in my warrior two. I'll inhale and turn my foot back so now they're parallel, and then take warrior two on the other side. Inhale, bend the pose. As I'm here, I'm breathing and I'm feeling my strength, feeling the strength in my legs, feeling my spine long and straight. My belly is in and up to support myself. And remember, when you're practicing with a spinal fusion, there are lots of yoga poses that require straight lines. You can have a full yoga practice with poses that have straight lines. It's not all about twists and curves. And when you get to practice and you start to go to public classes, there are modifications that you can use for poses that are offered to you where there's twisting or unusual contorting positions that you wouldn't want to pressure your spine to get into with a fusion. So eventually we'll work towards some videos on how to modify in a public class. For now, part 3, work on standing forward bends, always breathing, and work on your warrior twos. In your warrior twos, practice that warrior confidence, feeling good about your body, loving your spine, loving your rods, breathing and supporting yourself. Namaste.